So thank you all for joining. We'll go ahead and get started. Just quick way of introduction. Um, Matt, our CEO, is not on the call today, but I'm Zach Kinsey, the head of sales here at Concord. Blake, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm one of some CSMs here with Concord, and we as a team are happy to support you and help you out. So if you ever have questions, if you're a current customer, you can reach out to any one of us. We're here to help. We'll even make sure you have our general email as well to get a hold of someone. But yes, thank you.
Awesome, yeah. And the very exciting thing in Concord right now that's happening is our brand new Concord 2.0, our Concord Horizon, which is really exciting. We also have a lot of other new features in the system that we are just releasing. I will talk through some of those new features today. We've completely redesigned Concord basically from the ground up. So we have, more customizable system. We've got dark mode, full screen mode. We've got lots of new table options and better filtering. It's much snappier and quicker than our old solution was. We have our new AI Copilot, which will focus a lot on our AI powered search as well as our MCP server. So there's just a lot of new functionality that we have in the system, which I'm happy to walk you through and show you today. Let me jump back here. One thing that's really important is, our new solution is really AI powered, right? Like we're using AI on the back end to run all of the searches and to do the copilot and contract extraction, data extraction. There's just a lot of different ways that we're using AI. Just know that we do have a zero attention data policy with our AI partners. What that means is that they don't have access to your data other than to do what they need to do. Also, they don't keep any of that data, and none of our customer documents or any of your data is going to be used to train any of our models, basically. So just know that it is extremely secure. That's been a top priority for us as we've been rolling out this new platform. So yeah, that's all ready to go. As far as the AI Copilot goes, I'll show you here in just a second, but it's really cool. It works pretty much just like a ChatGPT or Gemini or other LLMs. You can ask it a question, you can have it summarize things, you can have it build reports. There's just lots of different things you can do with it. So I think we should go ahead and jump in. Blake, anything you want to add before we get started?
No, I think it's just a really exciting next step. Like we're building it from the rebuilding Concord from the ground up with it, which it just means there's so many possibilities. That's basically what we've done, is allow ourselves the opportunity to build more and expand more on it. So just excitement, I think, is what I want to get across.
Absolutely. So this is the new Concord 2.0. This is Horizon. And the first screen that you see when you log in is actually our Copilot. So you can do a lot of things with Copilot. Right here, you can see there's a few different options. Right now, I'm in what we call create mode, which is basically like ask it a question, gives me a response, and I can do different things with it. We do also have our search mode. So if you wanted to search across all your documents with it, you can, and I'll cover that here in just a little bit. We have that create document mode, as well as being able to attach things. So I'm actually going to do probably my personal favorite use case, which is I'm going to take a document from outside of Concord. I'm going to drag and drop that into the Copilot here, and I'm going to ask the Copilot to review the document. And so that's going to read through the document and give me an overview of what's happening here.
And what I like about it too is that, previously, and will still happen on the document. If you guys have AI on your accounts currently with the AI extraction, you need to run it, which makes sense. We don't want it to run on all documents. With the Copilot, it's already there available on your documents on your repository. So there's no implementation time to move to Horizon. You're basically ready, which is something it kind of blows my mind. I don't know, but that's why I'm not building these things.
Yeah, same with me. Um, Another follow-up question that I really like is I tell it what type of company that I am. Like as a software provider, what risk should I consider with this agreement? So maybe you're in healthcare, you want to ask about healthcare risks. Maybe you're in construction. We have customers all over the globe in all sorts of industries. So you can really have it be a little bit more industry specific to you if there's something that you want to ask about. And it just does a really good job to pull that information back. I will tell you what's going on behind the scenes. We are using ChatGPT 5, the latest model from OpenAI. That's the actual like source of this information. It is specifically being kind of customized to work with contracts and documents. So there are some checks and balances in place, and there's some prompting happening behind the scenes. So you can't come in here and just ask it about like what's the weather. It should kind of redirect you. But it is specifically designed to work with contracts and documents. So as you can see here, quite extensive. I mean, it's quite impressive. So for myself, asking about this specific industry, it's going to come back and tell me about IP ownership and scope creep and service levels, indemnification, all the different things that you would want. I could also have it come in here and say, hey, write me a new indemnity clause, and it will do that. So it is pretty powerful. I mean, pretty much anything you're going to ask it, it should be able to help you out with that. So this is just one use case: contract review, drafting, writing new language. Those are all things you can do with the new Copilot here in the system. Like anything else you want to add about this thing, or do we have any questions yet?
We don't have any, so that's a great reminder. Everybody go there if you have some questions. Sometimes when we talk about this, I just want to, there may be zero confusion on this. This may just be me, but some customers, ask, do I need like a Microsoft Copilot account? I want to just make it clear this is separate. So if you're just paying Concord for Horizon, if you have it on your account, this is what you have access to. No other separate subscriptions for what Zach is showing are required here. So I just want to highlight that for you guys. But no, all of the powers are built into Concord, and yeah, you just need to upgrade to Horizon, you'll get access to it.
Awesome. Let's move to a different prompt here. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new chat just to kind of clean things up a bit. And within that new chat, I'm going to ask the system to build me a contract. And by the way, we must have improved something, Blake, because this is incredibly fast, the response times. Have you noticed that?
I
I
have,
think
yes.
I think
Yeah.
they fixed something or they updated something, and it is just much snappier now than it was even last week. So it's
Yep.
great.
We're ready for launch day, that's for sure.
So what I've just asked the system to do is create a report for all contracts with amounts over $100,000, and that's what it's done. So it actually just built this report for me here in the system. So as you can see, I've got my report now. And if you can just think about the power of this tool, think about taking all the contracts you have today in your business, uploading them into the Concord platform, and then using this Copilot to just ask questions and build reports and create things for you. I mean, it really just unlocks that data. I have been at Concord for 10 years now, and early on, before any of this AI existed, people were like, "Hey, your system really helps me unlock the data so I can kind of see what's out there." And just having, the contract in the system and making it searchable was a huge improvement for people. Now you look at where we are, where we really are unlocking the data, where you can ask any question you want. You can ask about, hey, here's my standard document, show me which things are deviating. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with Copilot, so it's very, very powerful. And then also on the data and reporting side, being able to ask these questions like, hey, show me these contracts over 100K, or show me all contracts. Well, let's move to the next use case here. But one thing I want to show on this just real quick before I move on. So what it's done is it's created this report for me, and you'll notice this red dot that's going to be on a couple of these different columns. Those are what's actually being filtered. So if I come in here to my filter, I can see that the stage is signed. That's the first filter. And the second filter is contracts that are greater than 100,000. So essentially what I asked the AI to do, it turned that into the report. It filtered correctly, and it's generated this report for me in the system. So pretty powerful stuff here. Let's move on to another Copilot use case real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new chat here once again, just to keep it simple. And I do recommend if you're starting a whole new prompt and it's something very different from what you had before, I do recommend starting a new chat, because sometimes if you and I do this in Chat GPT myself. Like sometimes I'll just use the same chat and it'll get a little confused because it's like, are you referring to the thing that you just asked about, or is this a whole new thing? So I just recommend doing a new chat here. So we're having it find contracts that contain an auto renewal clause. So it's going through my whole database, it's reading through my contracts. One thing to mention here is that this is going to be beholden to your permissions. So whatever permissions you have in the system, whatever documents you have access to, that's what's going to, that's what's going to be reviewed here is based on your permissions. So here I've got some nice feedback. It's showing me here some relevant agreements that have that language in them, which is great. And I could ask it to do different things based on this, write new language, do whatever. But I like that it does give me a direct link to the contract itself. So I could jump in here and then, I could look at that specific clause and figure out what I want to do with it from that point. But yeah, just really powerful there. Blake, anything you want to add?
No, I don't think so. I think you're giving some good examples. Sometimes part of the struggle here is just like imagining what is possible since so much or applying those use cases because so much is possible. So really, I think, when you guys get your hands on this, include us in these conversations and in these questions because it's so exciting for us to learn how you're using it. But not really. I mean, we do have a question in here. How about can you compare documents of a certain type across the repository? Maybe I'll take this. I don't know, Zach, if you know it, answers or correct me if I'm wrong. Like if you want to say, hey, show me your compare, what are the differences between contract with this title and contract with that title? Um, we can try it, right? But that's definitely a use case that we're building. Let me say that. It's definitely planned with Copilot in the immediate launch. I don't know that the specific cross repos or comparison is currently possible, but we're going to see, right? But that's sort of one of those things that we're building it to do a multitude of things. And so
Uh,
comparison absolutely is a piece we know is important to you guys.
And honestly, I haven't tested this one, so this is going to be a live demonstration of the Copilot that we haven't tested. So let's just see what it does here.
We're doing a lot.
Um, I don't know if it's going to work or not. We're gonna test. I will say that we do have some prompting right now to restrict a few things. I don't know if this is one of those things, to be honest with you. So I will take a quick look here and see what it does,
Yep.
and
And
we
to
will all
talk
learn
about
together.
this, yeah, exactly. And to talk about the speed actually that Zach was mentioning earlier, I mean, it's going to look at two things here. It's going to look at the structured data, the information that's in that summary panel to pull reports and things like that. It's also going to read your contracts as well, of that unstructured data. That latter piece, it's just going to take a little bit longer in the world of AI. Sometimes I'm get impatient, but we're pretty proud of the speeds that it's doing it.
I mean, the speed today is very good. I mean, if you can imagine what this is actually doing, reading through all your and I think I have in this database, I think I have maybe 1,000 documents, something like that, and it's reading through them all and pulling this back. So it looks like it did a pretty good job here. Of course, I could ask it additional questions, and I'm sure it'd get more specific. But yeah, it did read through all of those and pull that back. So let's go ahead and jump into one last use case here. Did I do this one already? I don't think I did this one yet. We'll just do the show me all contracts that have a termination for convenience clause. I work with a lot of obviously legal people every day, contract managers, people like that. And a lot of them are brand new to a company. They get into an organization, the company probably has never had a CLM or a contract management system. And so they call us and say, hey, I need to really figure out what's in these contracts. I have no idea. And so they want to be able to ask questions like, which of my contracts have a termination for convenience clause? What contracts have high risk to the business? So I went ahead and asked that, and it's pulled back those results here. So very, very powerful. And then of course I could go in here and take a look at this, but now I don't have to do that searching through every single document. I can quickly get my list, and then I can click into them and start looking at those specific agreements. So pretty powerful stuff here. If you have any questions at all, please let us know. If you have any prompts you want us to try, let us know that as well, and we're more than happy to throw them in and have it try that.
We
It
do
can
actually.
compare two documents. Yeah, yeah, it can. I mean, you can upload two documents and ask it to compare them, and it would be able to tell you the difference between them. If they're completely different documents, I mean, I don't think that's going to be super effective. Where I think it would be more useful is if you had documents that were like not, maybe had some slight changes to them. You would be able to compare those. But you can also do that just with our own version control and track changes in Concord as well. But yeah, you should be able to definitely do that.
Yeah, we have a question about like projects and things like that. So someone like, does the chat feature allow us to create projects? They do this with ChatGPT and have set instructions so any chats with a specific project can either reference past memories, perform the same tasks slash outputs without having to repeatedly enter prompts. Could you speak to sort of maybe where we're going with projects and things like that, Zach, or what it's currently capable of?
Yeah, so that is going to be what you're describing is what we call agents. So an agent is going to be the ability to kind of build something that will work over and over again for you, kind of like a project that you would have in a ChatGPT or Claude. We just are going to call them agents. And so we're currently working on them. We have some use cases already that will basically are getting created right now. Those I think are set to be released early next year. So we're a little ways away from that actually being released in the system. We'll put them out as quickly as we can. So I don't know, maybe it comes out before then. But those agents you'll be able to have, for example, like an NDA agent where it'll automatically review NDAs for you based on your standard playbook, and it'll be able to mark that up for you in the system. That's just one example. So the way to think about it, it's kind of like a playbook in a traditional CLM, plus an AI agent to be able to actually do that work for you. You could also have an agent for deadlines, where when a specific deadline for specific teams coming up, you have a specific email that goes out to that team, things like that. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Pretty much anything you want to automate using an agent, you pretty much should be able to. So we're very excited about that. We feel like that's the next phase of Concord Horizon, is having those playbooks and agents, which are coming soon. So yeah. I do want to, so let us know if you have more questions. Adam, I see your question. If you want to give me the property and the value, let me know and I'll put something in. I'm like right now, I'm like there's a lot of things like a lot of ways I could go with that. So let me know if you have something specific and I'm happy to put that in. Um, let's go ahead and jump into the rest of Horizon here. I just want to show you a few other features for those that haven't seen the system yet. So this is our brand new inbox view. Basically, what you're seeing here, we've completely redesigned and refreshed Concord. The good news is all of the things here are pretty much in the same places as before, so it should feel very familiar to you if you're a longtime Concord user or even a new Concord user. We have, up here, documents, your favorites, your tasks, so very similar to before in the trash. You've also got your recent documents now. This is a new thing, so anything you recently were working on is going to show up here in this list. Fun fact, we used to have this a very long time ago with Concord. We used to have recent documents. This was maybe like 6, 7 years ago. And we did away with that. So I'm actually very excited that we brought that back because I use it all the time. And now we also have the folders here. I like the new folder structure and the way that they look because I think it's easier to tell now which folders actually have a subfolder. In the old system, it wasn't quite as clear as it is now. And you can also do subfolders off of subfolders. You could do that before, but we still have that functionality here. So lots of things here on the left panel. The biggest change we've made though is we have the new full screen mode. So I can unpin that side panel here, and I now have a full screen mode of my entire inbox. I have all these different columns here, and we have a brand new column selector. So if you wanted to be able to come in and have like really specific columns based on your specific needs, you can. We have added the ability for every field to be added as a column. So I'm talking about custom properties, smart fields, custom fields, anything that you're tracking in the system, you should be able to add as a column here within your inbox. You can, of course, also move things around. And we have our brand new filter as well. So with the filter, you can't only filter by one thing, you can actually filter by many different things. So let's say I want to look at all contracts created from the start of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to January 1st all the way up until today. And then I'm going to also filter based on contract value. So I'm going to go total value is greater than 100,000, and it's, or we'll go 10,000, and we'll go ahead and pull up that list here. And so you'll see the filter is being applied to certain columns based on that red dot and the column icon. And I can see that it in fact is all my documents that are over that amount. I could then save this. You got the save as a report option. So if I want to filter down and get to a specific set of data, I can, and then I can save that. Um,
And
so
also
that's
from
really powerful. Go ahead.
yeah, you can also export this view as well. So if you're used to getting those exports with the very wide Excel files with the colorful columns and the merged cells and everything, instead with Horizon, the export will just be what columns you have present. So if they're just what we see there, then it's just how it appears, right? So allowing you to get only the data you're really wanting to see that's based on what you see in your inbox.
Which that is actually, thank you for bringing that up. That is a huge thing. Like
Yes.
we completely changed the way the export works. And for those people that have been using Concord for a long time, you know what we're talking about. You used to get every single field and every single column, no matter what. Now you can get very specific about it. I'm sure we have a lot of customers who are rejoicing over this one too. So great point.
Yeah, we decided to keep it simple here and keep, make it easy to use for all you data nerds out there.
Absolutely. A couple other things I want to show here. Within the columns themselves, we have added a lot of new features. So for example, we have that sort. The sort is both descending and ascending. I'm going to clear the sort for now just to come back here. I can also pin columns now, which I really, really like. So if I wanted to pin the title of my document to the left, I can. And then I can do a right to left scroll. I can also do an up and down scroll as well here. So it's just much easier to kind of read the data and to see what data is in the inbox here. I think that's very important. The other thing that we have is the ability to auto size your columns. So you can kind of make everything sized correctly, and I can auto size all if I wanted to here as well. And then last thing is we did add the ability to choose columns directly within a column. So if I want to come here and add another column next to this or do some different things, I can do that here as well. So quite a few different options within this table view. And I think one of the things I'm really excited about is you're not only adding all these new features to the inbox, we have added them to every part of Concord. So if I come into the reporting, or if I go into my deadlines view, or if I go into different places in the system, I'm going to have all the same features here. And I don't have data in this report, but I can still do the sort and the pin, and I can, add new columns and filter. So just lots of different things that I can do directly from these other views. We didn't just add that to the inbox itself, which I think is huge. Before we get out of time, I do want to quickly talk about our new search capability in the system as well, because I think it goes hand in hand with our Copilot and other features. So we have completely redesigned search from the ground up. It's AI powered. So before, we were using a search that was purely text-based. So you type in a few fields, as you remember, and it's going to pull back contracts that contain, that data in them. And honestly, a lot of customers really liked our search. It was a great way to find different documents and data points, throughout the system. But we wanted to take it to the next level and make something that was a little bit smarter when it comes to the search, meaning that you can't, now it's not just about asking for specific text. You can actually ask questions now and it will pull back responses. So for example, let me just move this over and I'm going to turn this into search mode by clicking search. So I'm going to look for vendor contracts with auto renewal less than 30 days. And so before, if I were just to type that in, probably wouldn't really know what to do. Now it's actually still going into your documents, finding which meet that criteria, and it's going to add those to your search results here. So we're very excited about this new search. Just one other one. Let me pull back a different one here. I'm going to have it find contracts that allow an early exit, even if the phrase varies. And there we go. So it's going to pull up all those contracts for me. Of course, I can click into them and look through them. One thing that I did last week is I took these prompts and I started clicking into all these documents and looking like, hey, is this language actually there? Like, is it actually finding the right stuff? And every single one that I looked at did in fact have that language in it. And I've yet to find something that was incorrect. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I have yet to find that. Um, Yeah, great question, Donna. So there's questions about how to upgrade to Horizon. The way we are more than happy to have that conversation with you. There is an additional cost, most likely. I'm not going to say always. It depends on the plan that you have today and some different factors. There probably is an additional cost for you. We're more than happy to discuss that. And right now we are offering a discount for current customers who are upgrading to Horizon. There's kind of like an early upgrade discount that we're doing. So feel free to reach out to myself, to Blake, to Vanessa, who's our other CSM, or to Casey, whoever you're working with here at Concord. But I mean, you can reach out to me if you want to. I'll go ahead and put my email, and Blake, if you'll put your email there as well. Feel free to reach out, and we're happy to help. Why am I not able to? Where's the chat? There we go. We do that to everyone here.
Yep, absolutely. And if you're ever, concerned or like don't know who to reach out to, don't worry about who you're reaching out to. Just reach out. Just let us know. I'll even support or put in our support email here as well. Maybe that's too many emails for you to think about, and that's not the goal here. But that email especially is it's manned. It's not a general email that goes to nowhere. We're a pretty scrappy team here and everybody's monitoring that. So when in doubt, that's where you go. But definitely Zach is a great person to reach out to, and I'm happy to help as well.
Yeah, reach out. We're happy to have a quick discussion with you. It shouldn't take long to figure out what that looks like, so just let us know. Horizon is available today, so there are people on this call that are going to get some really good news because they're about to get Horizon turned on for them. So it is rolling out to our first set of customers today. We're very excited about that. Great work to our teams here. It's been many, many months of work to get to this point. So we're very excited about that. And yeah, we're excited for feedback too. So if you're getting early access to Concord today, you're in the first cohort of people getting that. Please let us know what you think. Please let us know if there's, any weird things that you're finding or any feedback that you have. We'd love to hear about that. Um, awesome. Blake, anything else from your side?
Nothing else, guys. We're just excited to hear from you, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you all for your time. Let us know how we can help and have a great rest of the day. Thanks a lot.
Take care, guys. Bye.